I was a FIMU, or initiated as a FIMU at Florida State University, so Alpha Epsilon, and way back in 1974. So I have my 15-year pin. I was very active in the chapter, primarily as we called it Rush Chair at the time, but now membership director. So very fond memories of my time at Florida State. I couldn't have graduated if it hadn't been for Leona Hughes. And so I am obviously so incredibly grateful to her. My parents had decided that they were no longer going to support me in school, and Leona Hughes and I had met at an alumni event for collegians. So we both were in Sarasota, Florida. That's where I grew up. And so she learned about my situation from me, and she said, we're going to fix that. We can do something about that. And she helped me get a FIMU Foundation scholarship. And without that scholarship, I would never have graduated. And so obviously I have a great deal of passion for what Leona Hughes did, certainly the impact she made in my life, and just feel like I need to pay it forward in her memory. So Leona Hughes was very active in the foundation for many, many years. And one of the funds that she has started is the Leona Hughes Heart and Hand Fund. And it is so amazing because our members can get foundation support when they've gone through a natural disaster, so a flood, fire, hurricane, and because of her foresight in knowing that our members are going to have difficult times when they can't make ends meet, when they've had a disaster, then she set up this fund. And so I certainly have donated specifically to that fund because of my admiration for her, but also just a huge passion for member assistance. I've thought about this, like what would I say to her after all these years? And I did have the opportunity to actually see her after I had moved to Colorado. She actually made a visit to the Colorado alumni chapter, and I was still in the process of finishing law school, so she knew that I had gone from undergrad to law school at University of Denver. But I would love to just share with her what I've been able to do with my life as a result of her helping me get through college, and then just the feeling that I have towards paying it forward to helping those who just haven't had the ability to, or don't have the ability to get through school, or have other needs that have gone unmet. She would love it. She would just love it, and it would be so fun to tell her. The connection between Leona and the Empowerment Fund is relatively straightforward, I guess. I have some funds that I wanted to apply to member assistance, and I could have given those funds directly to the Leona Hughes Fund, but I also wanted to do something a little different with those funds because she's had a great idea of helping those who are going through hard times because of a natural disaster, and that's fabulous. But I have a passion for another situation where our members are going through a bad situation, and wanted to funnel the member assistance funds for that. The Empowerment Fund comes from my passion for those who are vulnerable. And so the reason that I have such a passion for the Empowerment Fund is that I wanted to help our members who have specific vulnerabilities of lived experience with interpersonal violence. So interpersonal violence can be very broadly defined. So sexual abuse or violence, domestic partner abuse or violence, stalking, human trafficking. Any of those situations are interpersonal violence that it is a very hard situation. Someone is being abused, and it happens in the United States. I've seen statistics as high as 41% of women in the United States have some kind of experience with interpersonal violence. Our members are part of that. We would be very naive to think that our members aren't experiencing interpersonal violence. So I have a lot of passion and really would love to help our members who are experiencing that. I think that it's important that we all understand that being in an abusive situation does have financial impacts, and that by being able to have support from member assistance, that could really help someone leave an abusive situation. And so that's why I think it's very important to provide this to our members if we're able to. The Empowerment Fund is intended to help with a number of different things, and things that are different from the Leona Hughes Fund as well. So there's something that fund will not cover, but the Empowerment Fund will. The idea is that we will provide, or the foundation staff, my heart is that we will give to members who are having this lived experience, who are in an abusive situation, that it will be done trust-based, with respect, and intended to empower them, hence the name, to get through the situation that they're in. And the fund can go to food and shelter, clothing, those kinds of things, medical expenses, and also legal expenses, which is something that is not covered by many of the others. But as long as it is tied to the circumstance that is being experienced. So often in abuse cases, a temporary restraining order, for instance, is very helpful, and the Empowerment Fund could be used for that. If I were a member looking for assistance through the Empowerment Fund, I would go to findmeyoufoundation.org to the Member Assistance tab and click on that, and there will be a tab for applications. I obviously am thrilled to start this fund, but I would love more of our members to support the Empowerment Fund if you also share my passion in this particular area. So you can go to again, findmeyoufoundation.org to ways to give. Under member assistance, there will be a tab for